I would like to introduce you to Walt Rebenson, the president of the Chicago Blaze Building Corporation.
First and foremost, thank you to everyone for coming out today. Of course, we had a lot of rain starting last night, actually out front, but and last minute finishes with a temporary certificate of occupancy to open today, so everything was down to about 11:30 last night. So thanks for coming out to celebrate the Chicago Blaze Rugby Club on this historic day. A little bit of history, most of you know it. But we formed the club in 1982. We formed the building corp with Pete Thorley's direction to attempt to find our own property. And we formed that in 1984. By 1986, we bought an additional 5 acres and cut in a third field. And as you can see, we're going to cut in a fourth field next year. In 2002, we started planning this building. There was 4 members, including Bryce Elliott on the new building committee, and then we started out with plans and designs for a Taj Mahal, 2 stories, 8,000 square feet, probably would have cost us $2.5 million. We had to scale our plans back, but I think as you enjoy today, we really accomplished a lot and designed a great new clubhouse for the Blaze and for rugby in the Chicago metro area. If I had to thank everybody that's been involved for the last 35 years, we'd be here until Wednesday. So please don't be offended if you don't get a special shout out. But suffice it to say, rugby, like any other organization, is a direct result of input by all of its volunteers and members. And so we are only going to acknowledge a handful of people that have done some extra work over the past decades, and especially on getting this new building built. Obviously, finding a home for the Blaze, our original goal was to be somewhere north of 55, south of 88. The land was too expensive, so we stumbled upon the map. We knew 355 was going to go in at some point, but obviously it's become an easy access site for most participants in rugby across the whole Chicago metro area. I had asked the mayor to attend today, but he couldn't. But Lamont's been a great friend and a great home for the Chicago Blaze, and we hope to continue that relationship with them for the next 100 years. There's actually been only 7 board members of the building corp. Myself, Pete Thorley, Jack Frenchick, Mike Hansler, Chris Cobb, Al Klemp, and Chucky Barra. Frenchick and Barra served in the early years, and I think over this amount of period of time it shows you the commitment and the dedication by a handful of people to serve decades in their role. So let's give the full board a hand. Special thanks to a handful of people here that made today possible. Obviously starting with Joe Clarkson. Joe put a lot of time organizing the grand opening committee, delegated very well despite his business travels across the country. And I think as we get into the day, you'll see that Joe and members of the club and everyone on the grand opening committee has done a great job, so thank you. Jack Frenchick, Bryce Elliott, John Bramlett, Eric and Simon deserve a special shout out for spending months working out here to get this building to the point it is today. And so let's all give them a round of applause. And of course, we have Pat O'Looney, who most of you know, used to be a star for the Blaze in his dreams. But Pat stood up when we really needed a contractor with the trust, helped us get through the final designs and bring this thing in on the tighter budget as possible. And I can tell you, Pat's been extremely stressed out, especially over the last 4 weeks, where he's been at Yeoman, bringing in his tradesmen. I think you'll see that they've done a quality job. We have other things we have to finish and punch out, but I think Pat O'Looney deserves a special shout out. At this point, Mike Sadanovic, where's Mike? Most of you know the Zadanovics and the Zadanovic family. Don't ask me how to spell it. I spelled it 100 different ways over the last 10 years. But Mike and his family have been very involved with Chicago Blaze for decades. And when the team really needed new leadership to step into the present role, Mike, despite his many commitments, stepped up. And over the past couple of years, he's really implemented a lot of policies, procedures, new committees. Can everyone hold it down for a little bit? Everyone? We can get through this faster if everyone just listens for a little bit. So Mike stepped up a couple of years ago. He's done a enormous job. You'll see great strides on the field as well as off the field. So please welcome Mike.
Walt stole a lot of my thunder with thanking those that were responsible for putting this together. A couple people that have not been mentioned. Eric Fleet worked his butt off tirelessly last night. Peter Thorley for giving us the vision to build this, giving us the seed money to start this whole facility back in 1982. Who's put in hundreds of hours out here. Jonathan Tinsley, who was instrumental in doing all the landscaping, the stonework, the bar, so on and so forth. He was huge. A good old buddy, Chris Cobb, right here. Chris, stand up. Thank you for everything you've done. Bryce Elliott's helped out quite a bit in the last 2 weeks. Simon Smith. And to my cousin Bob Schramm, whose large purchase of stock, we wouldn't be standing here today. So thank you, Bob. Lastly, I just want to remind the team of the commitment of this organization to build a first-class rugby facility off the field, on the field with a first-class rugby coach with Simon Smith. The table has been set, boys. We've got our first league match of the year today. It's a must-win game. I love the hoopla. I love the grand opening. Let's win today.
Most of you probably don't realize, but we're about $1,250,000 in building this new facility, and that's on top of the money we spent over the last 30 years. Obviously, we couldn't do it without the support of a lot of stockholders, as well as a bank. Hinsdale Bank stepped up and lent us $500,000, which a lot of banks will not do for a rugby operation. But they're a great bank. They're part of the Win Trust.
Some of the members of the board might think that too, but if Walt Remenson hadn't taken this by the horns and wrestled it to the ground, we would not be here today. So the guy that I want to congratulate and thank for getting all this done is Walt Regenson. We've got a great business model here. We got the Seldom Towers throwing off about $100,000 a year. But with all, we've got a $500,000 bank loan that we're going to start paying back. We've got the first year interest only, but we're going to have to start paying back all our projections and all the work we did, and putting a pro forma together, indicate that we have to make a go of this clubhouse. We have to make money on this clubhouse. We have to have the patronage and the success. So we'd love to have venues here. We'd love to rent the fields to people. Looks like we might have a soccer team that's going to be under on Sundays. Youth groups, bachelor parties, weddings, and actually, members of the club, because we want to make a go of this. This has gotta work economically. So, going through yesterday and doing some of the last minute things and pulling out mugs and jerseys and pictures and all the memorabilia we've had. Just remind me how much we enjoy each other's company, how much the game has meant to us, how much of our identity is associated with rugby, the Blaze, and just being here and having a camaraderie and being able to join with each other and remember what we did and how fun it was and how fun it's going to be, and looking at kids coming up. I see kids that I've coached in high school that are going to play for the Blaze today. All that means so much to us. And we have to translate that into coming down here, being part of the club, talking the club up, talking the clubhouse up, getting the patronage here, and making this a very active and successful rugby club, rugby clubhouse, and kind of rugby in general. So please remember that. I've got a little station set up here, a little bean counter station, and I've got some shares that I can print out today if anybody wants to buy some shares. They're $200 each. I can give you a stock certificate. And today, if anybody wants to buy some shares today, we're happy to accommodate that. So thanks for coming here today. We appreciate it. The board kind of looks at this like, well, this isn't done and that isn't done, or we got to do this and that didn't come out quite as well. That's kind of what we were focused on. And when you take a step back, it's just goddamn amazing what we have out here. So thank you.
There's really one guy, most of us know who he is, with the support of his wife Sheila. They came up with the idea for Amico to merge with the Nomads. And from that day forward, he's been intricately involved, not only financially, but in different roles. He was the first president of the club, he was chairman of the building board, he put his time and money behind it. Sheila probably wanted him out of the house, so that's why he was able to hang out a little bit more. But we owe a huge debt of things. Now, I was going to go through everything Pete has taught us and led us through, but that would be an hour speech. So let's get on with it! I'm just going to keep it short and ask Pete to come up and say a couple words.
Wow. started. Wow. When this was a soybean field out here, we had dreams about this, but we never got to this. And this is fantastic. And I appreciate all the thanks that you've given to us and the plaque, which is phenomenal right in front. When I went down last week and told Sheila, you won't believe what but I was a catalyst. Now, in my chemistry and chemical engineering background, that's something that doesn't actually participate, but it makes things go faster and go to the solution. And that's what I feel I did. I mean, you heard the thanks to everybody. I was going to thank people, but you know who you are, I know who you are, and there are dozens and dozens of them. So I think Walt has completed that for us. So let's take it from here. This is the Rugby Blaze Rugby Club house. It's one of a few in the country, but it's the Rugby Club house. It's not owned by anybody else. It's owned by the Rugby Club. And you need to think about that all the time. Look after it. Maintain it. And keep it. Because it's ours. It's not somebody else's that somebody's got to come in and clean up. Look after it. I don't know what else to say other than wow. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. Let's take it from here. I thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. And all the kind words you said to me and to Sheila. So thank you very much.
Sign made. It's the same as the bigger sign, and it came out very large, but otherwise you wouldn't be able to read it. But it's the same tribute that we have with Pete and Sheila and their whole family. They're welcome to take it home, or if it's too big, we'll mount it outside. So everyone that visits this facility will see it forever. It's your choice. But thank you very much from everybody on the Chicago. Okay. A couple more thank yous today, just so everybody knows. Bars open, obviously. We have Scuttlebutt serving food. We have Roger Smith pig roasting. We'll be serving the roast pig later on today. We'd like to thank both Scuttlebutts and Roger Smith pig roasting. We'd like to thank Argus for our sponsorship over the years. We'd like to thank the Good Humor Man. Please, we're almost done. I'd like to thank the Good Humor Man. He's out front. Anybody wants free ice cream, kids, adults, whatever. And the Boy Scouts 149 troop is going to do a flag presentation before the game. Please enjoy, have fun, go play.
This is a very important announcement. Very important. Chris Tom Skrowski, and myself have $200 each to fund however long that lasts at the bar. So,
That is very important.
So